Hello guys, welcome back to another video tutorial on SketchUp core. On today's video, I'll be showing you how to create horizontal sidings using the Horizontal Louvres tool from 1001 plugin. We had a previous tutorial video on how to create horizontal sidings, but today I'll be showing you a different method. For this method, we're going to be using our Horizontal Louvres from 1001 plugins. And this is it. This is a tool we'll be using. We'll be using our create horizontal louvres on our selected surface. So for this method, all we have to do is identify the surface we need to create our siding on. So we'll be creating our siding on these blue surfaces. Already have our horizontal, or sorry, already have our vertical batten siding, our batten panels for the mixed surface, but for this blue surface we'll be creating our horizontal siding. So the first thing we need to do is create a rectangle on this surface. Since we're using our loop tool, we'll be creating a rectangle using our rectangle tool from this end point to this point. Okay, we'll be covering the whole wall. Currently our windows are being covered, but I'll show you a method on how to take out the siding that will be created on this window. Next thing we need to do is we'll select the surface, we'll click on our horizontal louvre tool. So we have some parameters we have to fill in here. Firstly, we're using our 1x6 wood siding. So for our depth, is asking us what's going to be our depth. That is D. The thickness is going to be T. The spacing between panels, which is RS, and the angle at which we want our panel. So firstly, our distance will be using 6. For the thickness, we'll be going with 1. And the spacing between panels, I think we can go with 6. Since each panel will be spaced 6 inches between each other, then for our angle, we'll be going with 80 degrees. So we want our panel created on the front of the selected surface. So click on front and we'll create loose. Okay. Currently we have our panel created, but there is a mistake here. We have our panels created, but this is not originally how we're supposed to have our wood siding on the surface. So I think we need to make some adjustments to those perimeters we currently have. Although the perimeters are followed accurately, as you can see, the distance between each panel is 6 inches. The height of the panel is 1. The distance between the panel and the wall is 6 inches as overlocated. So we undo the step and we'll try again. Clicking the surface, we'll click on our louvres. So we have to reduce the distance between our wall and the panel, which is D. So we'll go with 1 and we'll create that louvre. Okay, I think this is better. This is more accurate and detailed. I think this is good. So currently we have louvres that are going to represent our siding for this exterior design. All we need to do is make some few adjustments to our parameters, and I think we can have something better. I think the best option we have so far is using the 4 inches spacing. So I think we'll stick with 4 inches and the 0.5 for the thickness of each panel. Then we can scale by 1.5 to give us a 6 inches proper size. of each panel. So currently this is 6 inches between each panel. So that's the first step. So we have our correct parameters for creating our panels. We're using 4 inches thickness, which we have to scale to 6 inches. The next step would be deleting the excess panel from this group. So let's select this panels, delete. That is our panels for the surface. So next we have to remove these areas that are covering the window. So what we do here is we use a rectangle tool to create the opening for the windows, and we extrude this area, we intersect this area, and we delete them from this existing panel. I think to work with that, we edit this group, and this individual group, we're going to explode this group to make them a single entity and make this a single group. Next, we can unhide our hidden frames or hidden tags and create a rectangle representing the wood frame for this extrude by, let's say, 12 area. Increase the height up to those points and make it a group. I'll be using this box as our model to intersect our panels and deleting the areas we don't need. So we can move it in by, let's say, 9. And we'll isolate just this. So we select everything on our screen and select our box and our panels, or hide the rest of the screen. As you can see, the box is intersecting the model on both sides. The next thing we do is we edit our group, select the whole entity, right click, intersect with the faces with the model. So we'll be intersecting these panels with the box created. Intersect with the model. That has been done. And edit the group, hide our box. As you can see, we've intersected the panels. Next thing is to delete the areas we don't need. So we'll open the group, select these areas, delete. And can unhide the rest of our model. As you can see currently, we have a better looking siding panel. This is more detailed than having a texture as our siding panel. So we'll repeat the same process for all areas that are supposed to have the siding panel. We'll create a louvre, we'll scale the louvre by 1.5, and we create a rectangle to represent all openings and extrude or delete the areas that are not needed from our louvres created. Okay, we've created our panels for the areas we need. I'll just do something tricky. I might just duplicate this panel for the other side, so we don't have to recreate this twice. Now mirror this by scaling in the reverse direction, so -1. Mirror. That's one of the easiest trick I have to mirror objects on SketchUp. Okay. Since I'm making a render of just the facade, the front elevation, I don't usually give a detailed model of my building at the back. I just focus on the front facade. So my model is looking incomplete at the back. So you bear with me. So scale this to the back. The next thing we'll be doing is creating the end panels that covers the edges of our siding. So using our rectangle tool, create a box 1x4, press the length, select and make it a group. On our previous video, I explained the method of creating the side panels for this. So take this as a perfect 90 degrees angle. When we join our woods at a 45 degrees, so reduce by 1. Repeat the same thing for the other wood. Okay, make it a group. So we have a perfect end panel for this, but I think we just have to reduce the spacing, go by 1. That is too much. So from the distance between our panel and the wall is 1 inch. So we'll repeat the same thing for the other side. Okay, so we'll have our end panels. We just have to duplicate this using our control button and our move. Duplicate to those points. Repeat the same thing on this area and rotate by 90 degrees. Okay, here you have it. This is a second method for creating detailed wood siding for exterior building. So all we have to do now is allocate materials or colors to the siding and we are good to go. Okay, so this is method 2 of creating our siding panels for exterior buildings in SketchUp. There's a link to our method 1. I think at the end of the day, I still prefer the first method because that gives you a little bit more detail than the method 2, because you tend to have more accuracy between the look of your panels. The angles are more correct than this because we're having a straight line here and our panels are not supposed to be like this, but this gives you more detail when you're rendering. So I'll be making more videos on how to design elements on the exterior of your building, the roofing details, our boards, our vertical boards, and how I create my shutters for my windows and using the 1001 plugins for creating window frames and window panels. And that will be all for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe and share the videos.